The big question, the massive question, what happens in week 2? Russell Wilson revenge game. Arthur Smith gets his. Is Russ next? Do the Steelers turn to him? Do the Steelers draw out this injury much longer than they need to because Russ isn't healthy. Russ isn't healthy yet. We're not going to play him. We're not going to push the limits. This is Justin for right now, just to see if they could get another week out of him, see if they improve, and then they go from there. Do they name Justin the starter, or is Russ coming back? That is the massive question. I got thoughts. I'll ask you first. Do you think Justin got a shot at week 2 yesterday?
I think that he put himself in a position where if Russell Wilson isn't 100%, you go back to Justin Fields.
Yes.
Because there's no need to throw out a slightly injured or, even more than slightly injured. We don't know the severity of it, but there's no reason to throw out there an injured Russell Wilson when Justin Fields showed you that he can do whatever it takes to win this game. He doesn't need to go out there and be a superstar. He doesn't need to go out there and be, I saw a lot of people talking about Anthony Richardson. He doesn't have to be Anthony Richardson. He just has to be what he was yesterday. Yeah, cleaned a couple of things up, understandably, especially those early drives. You could tell the jitters were there. He needed to settle into the game a little bit more. And as we talked about earlier, so too did Arthur Smith. Once both of those guys settled into the game, they looked fine. There was no issues to me. So I think that if Russell Wilson is not 100% healthy, you go back to Justin Fields this week. If Russell is, I don't think Fields did quite enough to take it away from a perfectly healthy Russell Wilson.
I agree, but I don't think Russ is going to be healthy at all this season. I just don't. I have a hard time saying that a calf injury that has lingered this long, that was re-aggravated just before week 1, that we've seen other quarterbacks deal with for weeks and weeks and weeks or seasons, is going to be 100% at any point this season. And I agree with you. I look at Justin Fields and say, I don't think the Steelers offense pulls off what they pulled off yesterday if Justin Fields isn't able to run for a first down or avoid some pressure or, make a move when he should have made a move and just extended a play. And by no means was Justin Fields perfect. By no means was Justin Fields perfect. But he also didn't have a full week of practice. The last 2 days of practice when he was the starter, they were still working on a Russell Wilson playbook. The first full half of the season, or the first full half of the game, he was under center because this was a Russell Wilson playbook. And then you adapted on the fly at halftime to make this a somewhat Justin Fields playbook. And I would like to see what he could do with a full Justin Fields play. Don't think he's going to go out there and score 60 points. I don't think he's going to go out there and score 30 points. But I think he could get in the end zone. I think this could be a little bit better than what they have right now. And I'm very nervous that if you get a non-mobile quarterback in there, if you're sitting there with Russell Wilson, who isn't able to move around, who's trying to be a pocket passer, you're not going to be able to make as much happen because everybody besides George Pickens had 2 receptions for 8 yards, unless you were Pat Freiermuth, who had, I think, 3 for 27 or something like that. What's up, guys? It's football season, and we've teamed up with DraftKings. Right now, new customers who bet $5 will receive $250 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, you'll receive 1 month of NFL Plus Premium. It's hard to think of a better way to celebrate fall weather, your favorite jersey, and Sunday touchdowns than with the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Download the DraftKings app and use our promo code ALLSteelers. That's $250 in bonus bets instantly and 1 month of NFL Plus Premium after betting just $5. Stay in the action and use your $250 in bonus bets to bet anytime touchdowns on DraftKings. DraftKings is the place to bet touchdowns. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You could still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy and have the shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use my promo code ALLSteelers and bet just $5 on any wager and get $250 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code ALLSteelers only at DraftKings Sportsbook. But you need more than that. You can't have a pocket passer without wide receivers. And if the Steelers don't have wide receivers, if the Steelers' offensive line is still in a spot where they're developing, and I think they played very well yesterday, but still developing, I just don't think a pocket passer is the answer here. Justin Fields allows you to just go out there and try to make something out of nothing. And he did that a couple of times. There were at least 2 third downs that were fourth downs with a pocket passer. Justin Fields gets first downs and some. And there were other moments like that as well where you just saw Justin, you saw him make something and you said, okay, they needed that. And it wasn't anything spectacular, but it was enough. And I feel that if Russ is not able to do that, which I don't believe he is, the Steelers can't turn to him and say, you're going to do this and you're going to win us football games. Let me ask you, do you think that the Steelers, because we could sit here and ramble all day long, it doesn't matter. Do you think that the Steelers do turn to Russell Wilson in week 2?
I think if he gets to a point where he can play, I think the Steelers will go there. Not that that's the right choice, but I think that's where the Steelers will go.
Yeah, I agree. But I do think that if I had to guess, the week goes one of 2 ways. And I think that the week starts off. That's why Tomlin said, you could ask me Tuesday. He needed to buy some time. He was not ready for that situation whatsoever. And he knew it was coming. You know, these coaches are prepped before they got there. They know exactly. These PR staffs are phenomenal. They know what they're doing. Mike definitely went up there and said, I got to make a decision by Tuesday how to handle this. And I still don't think he gives us an answer on Tuesday. I think tomorrow rolls around and he says something along the lines of, we'll see who's healthy. If Russ is good to go, he'll be the guy, but we'll see how the week progresses. We will let practice availability be our guide. First one of the season, which shout out Mike Tomlin. We're back, baby. I think that Russ tries to practice is limited, and they know by the end of Wednesday whether or not Justin's going to be the guy, but they'll utilize this and say, Russ is hurt. We're not going to play him. That's the way that they go about it. By no means is Russ healthy and on the sideline. That's not going to happen. If Russ is able to play enough, the Steelers will play him, just like you said. If he is just under less than enough, the Steelers will drag this out and make this. They will milk this injury for another week just to see if they could get more out of Justin Fields.
Yeah, and I think Black and Yellow Texas Steel tells us something here that we're all thinking. You got to let Russ get his back on Sean Payton. That also has to play a factor into this because the Steelers are that type of organization.
I agree.
Where they want to do what's best for their player and they know how much it means to Russ. Not that that should play a factor. It shouldn't, but this is the Steelers we're talking about. It probably will.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I look at this, and if Russ is good, I still don't think, like, I'm not going to sit here and say Russ isn't the better option of the two. I think there's a chance he is. But from what we saw yesterday, the offense around them wasn't enough for me to say don't go with Justin. And I agree. I think that I would love to see Russ go out there. And I would love a situation where Russ could go out there in week 2, ball out, have a game. He's your starting quarterback. And the moment that you don't feel he is anymore, you go back to Justin. I would love that. But I agree. I think that if there's an opportunity, you give Russ an opportunity to get some revenge. And the Steelers would think that way. For sure, they would think that way. They already are thinking that way. But we'll see what happens. I think the Steelers know by Wednesday. If Russ is a limited participant on Thursday, Justin's your starting quarterback on Sunday. That's my thought on that one.